was trying to come up with segments. I was talking to my roommate, and I was like, what mythical creatures do you think clog their toilets for their relative size, assuming that a cyclops poops in like a cyclops size toilet.
Sure.
And then I realized that was just too juvenile, and I didn't want to come in here hot with like, hey, let's talk about poo for 2 hours.
Oh, Ava. Imagine if we had several episodes that went that way. How embarrassing that would
Imagine if our back catalog was sort of a back scatalog. Welcome to Oops All Segments, the very best podcast hitting your eardrums at Jesus Christ. This very moment, I am Kevin.
I'm Thomas, and today we are here with comedian Ava Val. Welcome to the show, Ava.
Hey guys, looking forward to a really peaceful time. A collaborative. I can't wait to make new friends today.
Yeah.
Yeah, to that
this
point,
is
I have
this
to
is a
say,
diplomatic space.
Thomas, you started off the show greeting a new guest. It's not a good way to make a new friend. You're eating boldly, loudly in front of the microphone, food in the camera.
This is hot honey chicken.
That does sound incredible.
It's got some carrots, some potatoes, a little honey with hot sauce in it.
Why like eating on the show right away in front of a guest? Like
some people, I'm not going to name names, or like, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. Oh. And other people, myself, have fucking jobs, Kevin. So unless you want me to go hungry, you already know how emaciated I look. You want me to...
I mean, that I will agree with.
You want
that
me to
concur with.
You want me to skip second brunch? No.
Is your job to be the noisiest podcast?
Well,
is your job
we wanted. Go ahead.
To blend into a green screen so you look like this melting ghost over and over again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna address your first question first, Ava. So, we wanted one superlative associated with our podcast.
Yeah.
We aren't the most popular. We're definitely not the funniest.
No, that's for
we
sure.
may be the noisiest podcast.
Yeah. It's it's a title we hold dear to our hearts.
Kevin, play the cue. You know the one.
Yeah, of course. Welcome to the snake pit. I'm so sorry.
God.
And that is the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song. And now, go ahead.
I prefer Thomas chewing loudly into his Tupperware. Can we go back to that?
Yeah. That should be our theme song. Is that horrid thing?
Yeah.
So that by comparison, the rest of the show sounds way better.
The show has been used therapeutically as exposure therapy for people with misophonia, where like they can't stand mouth sounds, and then as they listen longer, it becomes more and more distressing. So they can sort of use it to scale up their tolerance. Ava, what is going on with you lately? How are things?
I have a wonderful life, gentlemen. It's great.
Man, nice.
Okay, all right. Jimmy Stewart over here.
Bedford Falls. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Isn't life wonderful? I just want to sing.
I want to fight you right now. Just hearing this.
It looks like you're hanging yourself though. Is the thing. Be so careful.
She's autoerotic asphyxiating live on camera.
But yeah, so things are going well.
Pretty good. I mean, they could be better. Let's be honest.
Sure. Okay.
After celebrating that much, settling pretty quickly on they could be better.
Yeah,
nice.
There was something in me that was like, that was too much. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
I didn't earn it.
That's how it goes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are really good. I just did a taping at Winnipeg Comedy Festival for our nation's television provider, the CBC, which is a big deal over here, Thomas.
I'm from Winnipeg. I've listened to Marcy Marcusa.
yeah. Thomas knows what CBC is all about. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, and then I did Halifax. So 3 tapings back to back in 2 weeks.
Have you been to Halifax many times?
Only once before 2 years ago for the festival, for the same festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is Halifax? If you had to choose which one to do, that's right. I'm making you make enemies immediately.
This is the thing. I'm sure Winnipeg would understand when I say, they only brought me in for 1 day and then flew me back out, so I didn't get to have the festival experience.
I see.
The gala was super fun. They take great care of their comedians, but I did not get to really, really, really have a festival experience. So Halifax gets the edge on that one.
I see.
Nice.
I see. Thomas and I performed at the Winnipeg Comedy Festival once, right? T?
Yeah.
We did the comedy hip hop.
Interestingly,
show
and
I don't know.
you're gonna laugh at this, Ava.
Excuse me. No, we were both.
You're gonna laugh when you hear this. We were not asked back. It's kind of funny because we did a good job.
One sort of informs the other, though, right? Because we didn't come back. It's sort of one would
We've
imply.
been pretty involved with the comedy scene. Kevin's produced so much comedy in Winnipeg, after that one performance, kind of radio silence.
Yep.
What did you guys do?
We did a hateful polemic
sort of,
about neighborhoods in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
sort
of. We talked about how General Wolseley, who Wolseley's named after, was sort of a hate monger of sorts.
And then we said that was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of that is true.
The first part's true. The second part not true. We were actually a little too woke for the comedy festival, if you can believe it. We picked up on all the They were like, we're progressive, but y'all are a little much. So we had to tone it back. We had to take up less space. Was the note.
Way too zealous.
Way too zealous. No. So we agree with you, but we are waiting to hear from the Halifax Comedy Festival, and we have been submitting sort of.
My uncle lives in Halifax.
Tell him to hook us the fuck up.
I could put in a good word. We'll see how good your segments are.
This is our audition.
Hey, Halifax, you guys want some segments?
Yeah.
We submitted for JFL, and then they permanently shut down the festival. Kevin, what's up with you, man?
What's up with me, man? Here's what's up with me. Everybody thinks that I got engaged. I posted a photo on social media of Kara and I, my partner Kara. We went to a wedding recently, and at the wedding we took a nice photo in the sunset, and it is a very pretty photo. And the way her hand is resting upon my chest I'm actually would like you folks to chime in here and tell me whether or not, because in the caption I don't mention anything about being engaged. Thomas, that food is remarkably noisy, I have to say.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, but I'm going to screen share here.
Is it cool if I eat just a couple more pieces?
No, I mean, do whatever makes you happy, but you are wrecking the show for everyone.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm mostly just jealous. So here it is. Here's the photo. Oh, there's actually 3 photos, I should say. There's this photo, and then there's this photo, which I think is the culprit. I think this is the one that's making people think that
also,
we're engaged.
that looks.
And then there's this
go back, Kevin.
Yeah.
That second one, that looks shopped to me.
Shopped?
That looks shopped. Look at your hand on her back.
Auto shopped with the amount of oil he has in his hair.
And damn. And that's it. And we got
him. Coming in hot.
Hell yes.
Damn. This sweet photo that people, but the caption doesn't imply that we
caption's very long and kind of an extended bit about poison.
Yeah. It's sort of the way that I tend to operate on my social media is with like sort of weird, disingenuous captions that don't make any sense compared to the photos that you see. But it's a nice photo of us. But I really did like, people are thinking, and I guess because she is wearing rings, but that's the wrong hand.
That's
right?
the wrong hand.
Yeah.
People are being stupid. You're talking about a scorpion in the caption. Get out of here.
Thank you, Ava. I appreciate that. So anyway, that's what's kind of I've been dealing with. I've been fielding Instagram DMs. I've been fielding texts. I've been feeling panicked phone calls from family members who feel like they've been left out of information. That has not happened. I am not engaged. I'm only engaged in one thing. I'm engaged, embroiled even in a conflict with Thomas Tolles, my co-host on this show.
What did I do?
You just sort of exist in a way that sort of,
Guys.
Should I wait until you've completed the chicken, or are you able to kind of receive negative feedback?
Hit me up, brother.
So you sort of, honestly, the worst thing about you is your mouthfeel.
Go on.
I just think, there's something about how Thomas sits in one's mouth, metaphorically speaking. When you think about Thomas, when you speak about Thomas, there's sort of that ashy, when you drink a coffee that's too hot or you scald your tongue, Thomas sort of feels like a permanent scald, I think. And so I must permanently scold him for that.
It's like I have like the cursed name of like a Voldemort, for example, like that to speak my name is to transgress in some way.
Socially, culturally, politically, ethically.
Kevin, is the reason why you're not engaged because you know so much about Thomas's mouth feel?
Okay, and the truth comes out.
I'm going to say it has something to do with something, okay? I'm going to say it has something to do with something. There, it's been a long-running suspicion that Thomas and I are intimately involved. I can't say anything to dissuade people of that truth or rumor, but it's there, it's out there for people that have. What is going on in your the shitty little corner of the world that you inhabit?
I'll tell you, Kevin. I'm joining the Navy.
What?
Because yesterday I watched a documentary produced by the guy from Top Gun Maverick, who sort of popped off, the cocky pilot.
I don't know what
I forget his name.
So,
Ava, are you a Top Gun Maverick fan?
I haven't seen either.
You're having fucking hiccups.
The chicken is really the hot honey. It's spicy as well. Glenn, his name is Glenn Powell, and he was in a bad rom-com with Sydney Sweeney recently. But he produced this documentary called The Blue Angels about these 6 kind of Navy pilots who perform tricks in the sky, and they do it over Lake Michigan and Chicago. They travel across the country. Everyone says it's military propaganda. It's like a waste of tax dollars.
I saw this when I was there, didn't I?
Yeah,
I saw
I think
this
so.
event when I
showed you the Blue Angels. Kim loves the Blue Angels. She wept almost the entire film. But the thing is, Christ. I know it's propaganda, but it was so effective. It really made it look like this was the most rewarding experience anyone could have. You interview, you join this team, you practice every day. You're so precise. You're so supportive. It just makes you want to be part of a group. And like, I don't know. I might try to get my pilot's license after all.
You think this is it now? The Navy?
Yeah, you know what? Listen, I disagree with everything you've said.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. Yeah.
Not everything, surely.
I support your right to do it.
Wow.
These are
Spoken
exactly
like a
the
real
freedoms.
Well, that's one better than the Winnipeg Comedy Festival did us. Thank you, Ava. I appreciate that. So
no problem.
I don't have I don't think you have what it takes. I don't think you're cut from the right cloth to make it. You might be navy blue, as in, you have
that
navy
I'm
blue
sad
balls.
about
You're sort of
being
sad.
not in the Navy. I'm navy blue.
Yeah, but you're by no stretch of the imagination navy material.
How many push-ups can you do in a row?
1. Next question.
I don't know if we have any. That's enough questions. That's clear. You can't
Wait, in a row?
Yeah, in a row.
Yeah, in a row. What do you think she meant?
Okay.
1. Dog.
Let's do a segment called "Make Thomas Do Push-Ups." Now.
How dare you?
Yeah, wait a minute. Drop and give us 20.
There's no way that my background will show me doing push-ups, but
Turn
I'll
it
try.
off, then. I am so excited about this. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna.
There's no room. This room that I'm in is full of old blankets and clothes and stuff. I'm gonna take out my headphones.
Okay.
What number would you guys be impressed with if I hit a certain?
Nothing less than 40.
Uh-oh.
I want to see how many you can do in 30 seconds. How's that?
30 seconds. That's a good one. Because then there's a limit. There's no way I'm getting to 40 in 30.
I will start a timer.
Kevin. I'm taking off my headphones, so I'm not going to be able to hear you.
So I'm starting a timer in 10 seconds. Okay?
Can you count down starting now, and I'll keep counting in my head?
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay.
Here we go.
3, 4. I love that we can just see his head. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
9. 10,
There's not really a way for us to
11,
confirm he's doing them properly.
12, 13.
He could very well be
14.
on his knees.
I know, right?
15, 16, yeah.
17.
He's doing quite a bit. We got 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Was that 20 or 21? 20?
I think it was 21.
Could you see any of that?
Only sort of your head
Yeah.
and like your back shoulders sort of bobbing up and down, which is a sight, many people are used to seeing.
I didn't know when the 30 seconds was up. Did I stop at the right time?
No, you stopped pretty much perfectly. Your timing was good.
I did 20.
That's pretty good. I thought it was 21. I might have miscounted. I'm impressed, I will say, and Ava could speak to this. We couldn't see whether or not you were on your knees, whether or not you sort of maybe had help.
I was not on my knees.
It looked like you were pushing up your head, and that's all.
It just kind of looked like you were doing this the whole time.
Let's figure out somehow.
Let's do it one more time just to prove that it was real.
Yeah. Turn off the background.
Do
green
some
screen.
crunches.
Thomas is gonna do a whole workout.
How about Ava does some fucking burpees? What is this shit? I'm pissed.
I'm not the one joining the Navy.
Yeah.
They said there were 3.
You didn't last 20 push-ups. You're already being obstinate.
I'm gassed. They said there were 3 traits that make you a Blue Angel.
Yeah, what did they say those were?
Precision, professionalism, and personality.
Okay, a noisy chewer.
Yeah. You're so imprecise. You couldn't be less accurate. You make a mess of things at the best of times. What was the second one? Precision. What was it?
Professionalism.
Yeah, right. Your mouth is full of chicken right now while we try to record our show. I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty. You did a good salute. You did a good salute for the listeners who aren't watching that video. And then your personality. I mean,
they said that a Blue Angel died in 2016, and they didn't really get into it.
Yeah. Every time a man has hot honey chicken on a podcast, a Blue Angel gets its wings.
That's so cute.
Should we move on from this horrid discussion into a segment, team?
We had a segment. How many push-ups can Thomas do in 20 seconds?
Right, that was our warm-up
30
segment.
Seconds.
Quite literally warm-up segment. Should we take a break and then come back?
No. Let's do a quick real segment, and then we'll take a break.
Boom. Ooh, that's loud.
Woo!
What do we got?
Not my typeface. Participants must head to dafont.com and each pick a typeface they think represents one another.
Okay. I see. Defont.com. This will be fun because we don't really know Ava that well, and Ava, you don't know us that well.
I think Ava's getting a pretty good idea of the kind of fella I am.
Okay. Okay. So
we can take turns kind of sharing our screen or just revealing the name of the typeface.
I think that I think sharing screen.
Well, I figured out the category for Kevin: dingbats. Right. That ought to work. Right. And also foreign look. Sorry, that didn't land as well as I hoped it would.
I was looking at fonts, so I couldn't react. It took a second.
It wasn't great that I said
you
it.
You monster. Foreign look.
I found one for Thomas.
Okay.
And I gotta share my screen, right?
There should be a present button in the window there. Yeah.
Well, this one I misread and thought it had a slur in it, but it doesn't.
Thomas is Googling fonts that have the N-word in them.
I was not, but it looked...
Okay, here we go. And then we'll add this to the stage here. Here we go. Oh,
great.
God, that's terrifying.
Okay.
The infinite void.
I think you got to select the window.
The tab
Ava.
itself,
Maybe pull it out from the tab and then...
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It happens so often. You're fine. People do this a lot.
Window instead of tab or tab?
You want window instead of tab, and you want to pull. Well, actually, you have to have it in a separate window before you do that. So make sure that you pull it out into a separate window. I hope that was clear. I'm confusing myself.
I don't. It was not. But I think I did the same thing I just did.
If you tell us,
we're good.
There
we're
it is.
good. Oh wow. Tina
YOLO.
Dex.
Okay.
You only live once.
So I've selected this because it was under the army category.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
However, it has the stylizedness of someone who has never seen a battle.
Sort of leaning to the side like it's cool, and it's also got a very Pervitina. Pervitina Dex sounds like a really bad drag name. Like Pervitina.
This is some Pete Buttigieg army experience. Where it's like, I sent emails in Afghanistan for 6 months, and then I started working for a consultancy firm.
This to me reads like someone who would be like, I work in the army, and he's just their graphic designer.
For sure.
I conquered the entire Adobe suite.
Okay, yeah. You're like a king. You're like a king of that. I mean, I also have one for Thomas here.
Sure, let's just all fucking roast me.
Let's just sort of look here. I think it's right here. We're gonna go with this sort of lower scratch. I picked this because it was in the trash category.
Oh no!
And,
I was also looking in trash for you, but I couldn't find a good
one. And sort of reminds me of sort of scratching one's phallus or genitals of varying variety. Just lower. You're sort of a pick of the nuts.
That's enough.
Okay.
Now I will reveal your name. And you won't be laughing when you see what I've found. Behold, Kevin Rambrand.
Oh my God.
As written in semi.
This is a bunch of cocks. It's a bunch of dicks. I'm not even sure we can show this. This is heinous.
They have two different versions.
Yeah, shaft and head.
Shaft and the head.
There's shaft or just head, depending on your graphic design needs.
Also fascinating that the amount of pubic hair they've decided to make a part of the font is impressive.
The R has a big tuft on top, but then sometimes the penis is upside down. It's an interesting...
Yeah, it is.
It's now, kind of amazing. Too.
Okay, Ava. I now, of course, it's we
need to find one for
honor
Ava,
you. We need to find one for you. And unfortunately, I know less about you than I do Thomas. So I'm admittedly worried about misrepresenting you.
I'm not. So that doesn't
give me your first impression. Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah,
Don't
and I mean,
hesitate.
also, I'll have to say, I was looking in the groovy section for something, and a lot of these...
I also clicked on groovy.
That's interesting. So you give us groovy energy. That's cool. That's good. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with yeah, sure. We'll go with this one here. I don't know. I honestly just had to pick something, so we're gonna go with the font Grinder.
Wow.
Mostly
Well chosen there.
It's sort of shaking up. It's sort of it looks anxiety ridden. You know, I don't know if that's your vibe, but that's maybe what I think.
I have chosen the font
something?
Hit Me Punk. Hit Me Punk, kind of like a...
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Like a Guy Ritchie font. Like you
Yeah.
can see it's like, it's sort of a British rock and roller in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
okay.
love that.
This
Nice.
could work. This is
That's
good
the
branding.
font of. I'm pretty sure it's on the cover of Rock and Rolla.
Yeah,
the
I think
Guy
so.
Ritchie
Oh,
movie.
Oh yeah.
Huge
That is a
fan
good
of Guy
movie,
Ritchie.
honestly. Yeah, it is a
I
good
loved
movie.
it.
I actually nailed it. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
You nailed-
Yeah.
But also, so did Kevin with Grinder. If anything,
Yeah.
the
I feel
word
like
itself-
the Grinder movie could be maybe the title of the Guy Ritchie movie. That
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like it might be a Guy Ritchie movie title. That's good. I felt well represented. Do we feel like we touched all the bases?
Yeah.
I'm still looking for one.
Oh, you're trying to find one for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to not be represented by just a bunch of phalluses. So, you know, if you could, that would be great. But I totally, it's a surprisingly difficult task.
really is.
Yeah. So, and admittedly not great for audio.
No, pretty bad idea here.
You know what? I write almost all the segments that aren't on listeners. But oh, you know what? I'll take a moment to mention something to our listeners while you're scrolling, Ava. That if you are a fan, I believe, at least through our Spotify account, you can now leave us a voice message. You could leave us a message that we could play on the show, on air, live, and respond to. So if you need advice about something, if you wanna just suggest a segment over voice, there's a way to do that now.
Yeah.
You can do it that way, and we will figure out a way to play it back. I don't think we have any yet. I haven't quite figured out how that whole system works, but do listen if you are a Spotify listener. Check out leaving us a voice message and drop Oops All segments of voice message. Yeah. Oh, we've got one. It looks like we've got one.
Okay, did it work?
Almost. It looks like you're still. I think you have to click on the right window. I think you have to click on the window
shit.
for the. Yeah. No, not yet. Yeah. And
My window, that one. Yeah.
there we go. We have it, and I am Kevin's auto body and hair. Right. Sort of creative vibes. I'm glad that you kind of this is nice. Yeah. So the implication is I'm sort of a grease monkey of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The handwrittenness has a certain sophistication to it. That's like
well,
you are articulate.
Oh,
You know,
that's nice. Yeah. Thank you so much. But I am a greasy man. I look like I'm an articulate. I'm a mechanic of myself. I can sort of tell you. I can assess what's wrong with your vehicle, but I will be kind, gracious, and accurate about it. I would sort of be. Would you say professional, precise, and maybe have a decent personality about it all?
yes, and a jack of all trades of sorts, where it's like you get like the rugged thing down, but you
Yeah.
have a soft side as well. And
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that is that I also have a tendency to sort of provide hand stimulation to plumbers, HVAC mechanics, maintenance people. So I'm sort of a jack off all trades as well.
Yeah.
Sort of a way that I kind of
So-
operate.
Yeah.
the Grinder font would have worked for you as well.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Do you want to take a break, T?
Yeah.
Hey Josh, do you like drinks?
Hey Rob, I love drinks.
Oh my gosh, would you like having a good time?
I love having a good time.
Then dude, you gotta check out Poppin' Bottles!
What? A comedic podcast about our favorite beverages?
Absolutely. Every week we have a guest on where they talk about their favorite beverage. And then we do a whole bunch of segments. You like segments, right?
Oh, if I'm not eating an orange by segments, then I'm not enjoying it.
What about games? You like dumb games?
I love the dumber the game, the more I enjoy it.
Then you gotta check out Poppin' Bottles, available wherever you find podcasts.
And we are back. Ava, do you have a segment for us?
I do. So,
Oh boy.
listen, I've got. Is this still recording? Good. I've got love. I got love on the brain. You know what I'm saying, you
Okay.
guys?
Yeah.
I've been
How long are we on?
ovulating like crazy, and it's all I can think of.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. And it's all I can think of. So, but sometimes our circumstances aren't exactly conducive to a traditional romance.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so true.
And some of us feel ostracized from society, and we feel like a bit out on the outside. So is love possible for us? And this segment is for those people who feel that way.
Wow.
I'm calling it Mythical Matchmaker.
Yay.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay,
Mythical
so
Matchmaker.
basically what I'm going to do is I've selected 6 different mythological creatures from different cultures, and we are going to do our best to match them together.
This is great. It's kind
To
of like a
pair
reality
them together
show.
romantically and rationalize why they would
Yeah,
be.
this is sort of perfect because I'm currently working on a play right now by Annie Baker called The Antipodes that opens with a bunch of characters sort of lobbing up different mythical creatures to pitch a story idea about. And I'm also in the throes of watching Love on the Spectrum, which is sort of like a matchmaking show. I mean, it's not quite a matchmaking show, but it's sort of, and so this feels like it's right up my alley, as it were.
Aw.
And as for me, I'm just up for whatever.
Okay, cool.
All
there we
right.
go. There we go.
This segment is for everyone then. Okay. So I'm gonna rattle off the list. If you guys want to write these down, I don't know. I have 6. So
we've
that
got
might be
a
tough to
little
keep track
private
of.
chat here we can keep record of.
Yeah, we'll keep
Yeah.
a track.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got gargoyle.
Sure.
We've got
like it.
minotaur.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
We've got centaur.
Ooh,
Okay,
centaur,
a little
okay.
bit of a different car.
Mr. Tumnus going on.
We've got fairy. Mr. Tumnus is a satyr.
Yeah. Which means canonically he's super horny.
Yeah. What? How are you writing a play and you don't even know this shit, Kevin? Come on, man.
I'm acting in it. I'm not writing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just have to get fucked by the centaur. I don't have to know that he's
Ooh,
horny. Yeah,
that
I'm
sounds
just kidding. That's
fun.
not what's happening. That would be fun. Gargoyle, Minotaur, Centaur, Fairy.
Manticore.
Oh, Manticore. That
good
plays a big
one.
part in the show. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Lion's
mermaid.
body and human head. Mermaid. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. That's a good combination here. We've got a good combination here. So gargoyle.
This feels like an SAT question. Like match the. You
Yeah.
have to decide which of these 6 would fit best.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say that the most difficult one to maybe place up, seeing on the surface, is the fairy because of their size. They're sort of diminutive. Compared to the rest of these. From what I understand, I think all of these creatures are either sort of like your average human size or larger. I think a manticore is a lion's body with a human head. A minotaur is a human's
Doesn't a
body with
manticore
a
have a
bull head.
scorpion part?
Manticore is
I
like
believe
a
a
lion
tail.
with a scorpion tail and wings.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. One of my lines in the show is manticore, lion's body and a human head, 3 rows of teeth, eats people whole. So those are all
Your
facts.
character might be wrong about the manticore.
That's very possible. That's very possible.
We need to confirm this now.
He is supposed to be looking it up online when he says
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So,
The head of a man, body of a lion, tail of a dragon, or a scorpion.
Oh, there we
and
go.
wings.
Yeah. And
in some
wings.
cases.
So I'm here to make the case that the gargoyle and the minotaur belong together in the labyrinth. That a gargoyle could perch atop one of the labyrinthian
lost with
walls.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of get lost together get lost in each other's eyes, as it were.
Maybe
And,
even get lost in each other's thighs.
Yeah, maybe
Ooh.
even you'd have to be made of stone not to cry at this love story. And it is the minotaur and the gargoyle.
Okay.
That was really beautiful. I can't argue with that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
actually.
that is pretty awesome. Obviously, the mermaid also runs into some struggles, being, I believe, waterbound, right? So I think perhaps you might need a creature that's not so land-bound. So I'm going to make a pitch here for the fairy and the mermaid to kind of link up here. I think the fairy can, float, fly, and land wherever needs be. They've got some. I believe fairies are magical beings with the ability to cast spells and create sort of. So I think they could, kind of create some interesting types of experiences for the mermaid. And the mermaid, of course, famously represented by Ariel, who wants to, experience life beyond the sea. And what's more, interesting than walking on land? Well, flying above the sea, of course, which the fairy might be able to help create some sort of vicarious living through situation, and they could connect over those experiences. I think there's something there. I think I'm going to pitch for the mermaid and the fairy to kind of link up and be a couple. I don't know if you guys have as much hesitation towards that, but I was quite convinced by the gargoyle and the minotaur. So, yeah,
that was a good case. You played a very good case. That was very strong. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Frankly, I can see the manticore and the centaur doing it doggy. And
what do you mean you can see it?
Well, I sort of have a couple links here that I'm not going to share just for the sake of making sure we don't get blocked. But
and they both have human faces, so they can like kiss and stuff.
That is kind of nice.
True. Yeah,
they have.
But Ava had an objection, and let's hear her out. What's going on, Ava?
I was considering, this might feel a bit too obvious, maybe, but mermaid and centaur. Centaur, because of the top human halves.
The top halves.
Yeah.
At least they have something they can relate.
Yeah, you get an above ground pool going, and then suddenly everything kind of works out. I feel like
perfect.
Yeah,
and the above the mermaid could ride on the centaur's back, like through the woods, so she gets to experience land. I don't know.
I sort of like the two halves become a whole. That they're both half one thing, half another.
Thomas, is someone stealing vehicles outside of your apartment?
Yeah, the whole day there have been honking cars, chicken chewing sounds. Kevin's going to have to modify my audio to the point that all of my consonants are muted to make this listenable, which is fine.
Yeah.
But in spite of that and my many challenges, I do agree with Ava. I think the centaur-mermaid combo is the one I'm shipping.
Okay, so then that leaves us, if we're all convinced the gargoyle and the minotaur belong together, which is a hard thing to dissuade, I think, that leaves us with the fairy and the manticore. Now, I think for this, maybe most interestingly, we'll accept that the manticore also has wings. This is a winged manticore.
Two winged creatures
flying through the sky, one much smaller than the other. But that's kind of cute vibes, right? When you have like a couple and one person is way like shorter than the other person, you're like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like,
I can see it.
Yeah,
I think it's so cute.
Yeah. Interestingly, when I look at this list, it's surprising to me how few famous media there is about some of these things. Like, so mermaid, obviously we all know the Disney film and the like and different things like that, seafaring tales. Manticore, not in many things, right? Fairy, my first thought is like, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and fairies and like Zelda.
Yeah, given how awesome the manticore is, it is surprising there hasn't been kind of more storytelling around.
Like it's sort of a la the griffin, right? Like another thing that when I was in like high school, griffins were cool as fuck, and then like no one ever talked about them. Is that because of
Harry Potter?
No, that's a hippogriff, which is very different. Centaurs, I think like Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, right? Are there centaurs in that or no?
You're thinking of
Mr. the satyrs again.
That's the satyr. Yeah,
fucking up. What do we need to do to explain to you who Mr. Tumnus is?
We'll never be sated or satiated. Gargoyle, I think of the cartoon from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Gargoyles. It was great.
I think we should come up with like romance book titles for all three of these combos. We've got the gargoyle, the minotaur, the centaur, the mermaid, and the fairy and the manticore.
Oh, okay.
What could be our like pulpy romance novel about? This is very I don't know if this was your inspiration, Ava, but I've heard that these romance novels between like an orc and a human woman are becoming quite popular.
Really?
No way.
Human women sort of longing to be fucked by massive beast men? Is that the idea?
Well, it actually isn't, Kevin, and how dare you suggest that? What I've heard is that what women like about it is that the orc is kind of like simple. He doesn't know like the human culture, so he's not plagued by patriarchal norms and things. He's very gentle and like almost even open to like the woman's leadership, and so it's a fantasy in that way as well. He comes from another world.
I'm about to say something. Forgive me, sisterhood out there. I'm about to say something.
Yeah.
I think that's why women love horses so much, because they're like these powerful, tameable, dumb beasts that could wreck them at any moment. But like the woman like has it tamed and under control.
I dated a horse girl once, and can confirm actually.
Yeah.
Now that you that unlocked something for me when you said that. I was like, oh, I was not dumb enough.
What woman could tame you, Kevin?
Oh yeah, the wild beast that I am. That's why I'm not engaged. I think so. I think there's something to maybe the top halves we can do for the mermaid and the centaur.
Gargoyle and minotaur may be amazing grace.
Oh. Okay.
I was gonna go with Love Labyrinth. Like that might be
pretty.
Too...
That works.
I was trying to find a way to incorporate Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Back in the Labyrinth. I was trying to think of, and then on Little Wings maybe for the fairy and the manticore.
Doesn't speak love story to me on wings. What could we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Soaring love. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know.
I think there's something
the
about that.
sting of love.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like something about like you could even get into like the sort of a dichotomy there between like or a balance of like the flights that love gives you, the sort of the heights it can take you to, and the stings.
Oh,
it can
here
also
it
give
is.
you. So
and it's a flight of fancy.
That's pretty good.
I like
of
that.
fancy, and and maybe one of the two of them is particularly affluent and fancy, and and dapper.
The manticore has a little tuxedo on,
a little tuxedo on, and a hat, a little top hat, sort of a manticore of means.
Yeah. And the fairy's an alcoholic.
It's sort of a pretty woman type thing. The fairy sort of down on their luck and
And the fairy had a rough childhood.
And the Manticore's played by Richard Gere. And then did we come up with one for the I just said top halves. Is that what we want for the
I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah. Below the waistline. That's more like a Harlequin novel, less of a love novel, more like this one's just about fucking.
Centaur and mermaid, so horse fish.
Land and sea, something about that, maybe.
Yeah. Trot. Trotting.
I don't know. Skin deep. Because they both. I don't know about that.
Oh yeah. Scales and tails.
Scales of love. The scale of horse.
The scale of horse.
And we got it.
The scale of horse. Yeah, you measure a horse by hands, and that's sort of the last scene is that they're sort of handing each other. Yeah.
That's the one.
Wow.
We found it.
Wow. Yeah. I have to say, what a treat of a segment. Well thought of, well designed.
Well researched.
Well researched. Do you have a favorite out of mythical beings? Is there are you big into the mythical being thing? Is that what spawned this, or is this just where did this come from?
Oh boy, do you really want to know? Okay.
I'm guessing a couple of sessions with the ganja, if I had to guess.
No.
If I had to guess, a couple of tokes later, and here we are. Sorry, go ahead.
The story is so much worse. I'll try and keep it brief, but long story short, my toilet was broken for like a solid 24 hours.
People come on this show after their shitter's been destroyed all the time.
It's so
Kristen Anderson
common.
did the show. The same thing. When she came on, her toilet was broken. Go ahead, please.
For 24 hours. And I would keep coming back and plunging it, and the water level would come up to the top, and I would be like, well, what the fuck do I do? And then
Yeah.
I would wait a few hours for the water level to go down, and I'd come back and I'd plunge it, and nothing was working.
Of course.
And it was just pee, I promise. It wasn't anything
it's not-
that I did. It was just pee.
okay.
So,
Sure.
anyways, so after 24 hours, it just like while I was brushing my teeth, it just went and then finally fixed itself. So this whole episode of my life, I was just thinking about clogged toilets because it was just like at the forefront of my brain for 24 hours. This disaster.
Yeah.
A stressful
And
day.
so I was trying to come up with segments. I was talking to my roommate, and I was like, "What mythical creatures do you think clog their toilets for like their relative size? Assuming that a cyclops poops in like a cyclops size toilet.
Yeah.
It has more to do with diet than size of toilet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What is their
Yeah.
diet,
Yeah.
and how do they clog
Yeah.
their toilets?
For sure.
And then
yeah,
I realized that was just too juvenile, and I didn't want to come in here
Oh.
hot with like, "Hey, let's talk about poo for 2
Yeah.
hours."
Oh, Ava.
Imagine if we had several episodes that went that way. How embarrassing that would
Imagine
be.
if our back catalog was sort of a back scatalog. As it were. But yeah, I mean, and just obviously for the record, fairies are clogging their toilets ad nauseum. Pixies look like they sort of seem like hedonistic little creatures that maybe are often indulging in sort of maybe not enough fiber. But yeah, that's my take. Is there anything? Are we in plug mode, T?
Yeah, I mean, we're in plugging
I don't know
toilet mode, so maybe we'll shift into plugging the shows. And Ava, thank you so much for coming on. You taught Kevin a lot about manticores. And what's going on? What's something you'd like the people to discover about you?
I would love people to check out my stand-up special when it comes out on June 30th. Yeah, please. It's for free. It's going to be on YouTube. I did it with 800 Pound Gorilla Records, which is a very renowned record label. It was. I'm very proud of it. It's called So Brave. It's my debut special. I've been doing stand up for 17 years, and I've never put anything out.
Congratulations! This is exciting.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Make sure to check it out, folks. I met Ava in like the smallest, least well attended slumber party stand up show in Toronto on like a weird time in the middle of the night, and you did a great job of keeping the room alive and well, given that it was like very sparsely attended. I mean, all the comedians did great, but I really thought you really did well considering, especially the circumstances. So I'm it was very funny. Please do check out the special. And you said June 30th.
June 30th.
So
it's on YouTube.
We'll put links to your socials in our description there, because I'm sure then you'll be plugging it quite a bit when it comes out. I'm convinced. So great, check that out. That's exciting. Where did you tape it?
At Comedy Bar East on Danforth.
Oh, cool.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
In Toronto.
Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Kevin?
Come check out the Antipodes. You want to hear me talk about manticores more and other mythical beasts and watch some crazy shit go down? Annie Baker's a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright. She's incredible. She's written this amazing script. And Thomas's Faja, George Tolles, is directing it. He's doing an incredible job. The cast is hilarious and funny and moving and beautiful, and the work we are putting together is exceptional. I'm very excited to share it with everybody. So please don't miss it. We're only running for 5 days, Wednesday to Sunday. So May 29th, 30th, and then 31st, and then we're doing the 1st and 2nd of June. So we're just running those 5 days, Wednesday to Sunday. Matinees on the Saturday and Sunday, evening performances on all of the days. Tickets available at the28thminute.com. That's THE28THMINUTE.com. And Club Soda Improv is doing a fundraiser for Gaza relief on June 15th. So please, please, please do give us a shout if you are in Winnipeg. Check us out. We're at the Ukrainian Labor Temple. All of the proceeds will be going to the Islamic Relief Fund of Canada for their Gaza support. And we would love to see support there. It's going to be a great event. And finally, the last thing I have to plug is that in the Fringe Festival, keep your ears peeled, eyes peeled, and noses peeled for Club Soda. You can follow us on social media pages at Club Soda Improv because we are doing at least one, if not two shows there, and you might even catch Thomas there if we're lucky. So those are my plugs. T, do you have anything going on?
I do want to plug something which I'm not involved in, but the 28th Minute did All My Sons last year. Well,
That's
some
right.
friends of mine from Drunk Shakespeare, some people that have worked there with me, are putting on their own production of All My Sons.
What?
And it opens in Chicago on the 31st of May.
Oh, cool.
It's at, what theater is it at? Yeah, it's at the Greenhouse Theater Center. So I'll be there opening night, and then they have some other shows, some matinees. So check it out. I'm
That's
excited
really
to see,
wicked.
and they did it totally independent. So it's very cool.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
I'm so curious to hear how that goes. That's wicked. Okay, folks. Thank you so much, Ava, for coming down and
Thank you for
trying to-
having me. I appreciate it. This was super, super fun.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Rate us 5 stars if you haven't.
Yes.
Send us segments.
Yeah, send us segments, leave us voice messages, check out the descriptions, follow the links, and don't forget about Ava's special on June 30th. It's called, you said it and I forgot the name already,
So brave.
So Brave. Goodbye, everyone.
Did a blue angel just crash?